Hello and welcome to another eBuddy tutorial. Today we are going to be focusing on our sales report for the troop, but once again that always means to get our sales report correct so that we can view what we owe. We need to make sure that we've finished a few other things. The main thing is this actual transactions tab, which might mean that we need to do some extra work for the goal getters or for the girl orders, including any distribution into those. Rewards, there's already another tutorial, so I won't focus on that too much. And of course the deposits tab, so that we can see what we finally owe in the sales report. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that we've made every last transaction. So if we have any orders for goal getters that haven't been filled, that's what we need to look at as a kind of a final transaction that you can pull from one of your cupboards, or if we need to trade with some troops that may have a little leftover inventory. Whatever it might be, we need to finish it out on the transaction. So we look at our girl orders, make sure we're closed out. It looks like I still have 96 boxes, but what I never did is put anything into Cookies from the Heart or my Gift of Caring. Remember, if it's Cookies from the Heart, you cannot use any of your troop inventory to fill a Cookies from the Heart. That does come from the council cupboards or from the from Little Brownie directly to fill that order. Those are boxes that are kind of virtual boxes that you don't actually have in your inventory, but you do get credit for, and you would end up paying for, getting your troop proceeds, and being able to credit out to girls as a box sold. Gift of Caring you absolutely need into your inventory. So if, for instance, we ended up putting a few extras on some of the girls to say that actually she did sell about 50 boxes worth of Gift of Caring, and so then I would save that. And I might say even another girl sold 50 boxes for my Gift of Caring. I'd say okay, and I would save that. But I only have 46 packages in inventory. So what that means is that I actually need to go make a final transaction. I do need to abandon those edits. So I would come back in here, I would add a transaction for 4 packages, whatever it is that you want to fill, except for, again, the S'mores and Toffee-tastic, to the cupboard that's closest to you, that you can actually go and pick those up. So I would have 4 more boxes that I need to go and pick up from a cupboard so that I can actually make my distribution. Then I'd go back into the Girl Order tab, and I would put my 50 final boxes. Once again, you can either just do it anywhere, because I know that that's where I sold them. I'm just going to say okay, and I'm going to save it. So once again, when I'm on my Girl Order tab, I should see that this number is equal to this number, and I have a 0 difference. So I have all the boxes that I need to make sure that I can fill every order and get credit to all of the girls. So now that I've made a final transaction, and let's just pretend we're, at the very end of the sale, everybody, I can't sell anymore at booths, we're closed out. This is March 20th, so it's the day after the last day of booth sales. I can still make transactions until I do my rewards submittal, and so I can backfill anything that I did. So I always suggest sell out. Then if you have Gift of Caring, or you need to make one last transaction for a goal getter, whatever it might have been, put that in, sell out, and then put in a last transaction for the actual boxes that you need to fill that order. So once my transactions are done, I can go over to the sales report tab. And then I'll see that all the boxes, so the 2460 plus the other 4 that I just picked up, have all been added in there for a total of 2464. You times that by 4, and you're going to come out with a number that looks like what I should have collected, either through the digital cookie program or through actual sales, cash, and checks, and if you are taking credit card sliders at booth sales. Then you can see your troop proceeds. If your girls averaged 400 boxes per girl selling, so it's PGA selling, you're going to see that you earned your normal rewards, and then you had, here's your troop proceeds rate, and then if you got to that 250 or 225, then 300 or 400, you'll get a tiered rate. So I did, because my girls are at 600 boxes per girl selling. The registered was 321, but per girl selling was 616. And so that's the one we go off of girls selling at least one box. And so I did get the 10-cent bonus. So it's 50 cents that I always get plus the 10 cents. And my bonus troop proceeds were $246.40, which is automatically calculated into this. So it's actually, if I divide this number by 60, I should get this number right here. So this number divided by 60, or 0.60, I would get 2464. And you can do the math if you have any questions. Remember, this just shows the bonus proceeds, and then this just gives a total number of proceeds. Sometimes people want to see what they earned at 50 cents per box. Well, it's technically this number minus this number is what you earned in your basic rate. Then it's what is owed to the council. So this is what you've been paying down either through regular deposits, through the DOC that came in every time a transaction happened, or through the 2 ACHs that have already come through. Right now, my troop has not paid anything, so I still owe the full amount. And this would be, as long as I don't add any more transactions, let's just see what happens if I add another transaction. So I add a transaction for another, does he need, let's see, just teasing me. Sorry about that. Had a shadowy figure walking up on me. I just put another couple of cases on there, so I added 60 more boxes. So hopefully I see 60 times 4 is what it adds to my total that I should have collected, and then minus my troop proceeds, which have now gone up. And so now my total has gone up ever so slightly by roughly $200, $250. So what we see now is that changes every time a transaction is made. That's why we do not actually send out a final ACH. The only way to know is the number that is still right here. So your other 2 ACHs have already been posted. Any number that was given through the digital order card or digital cookie program has already been posted. And so this is the number that you actually still owe council, and that can change at any time. So we don't send out a final notice because there is no way to tell you whether or not it stays constant. This is the best place to look at what we are going to pull next Friday on the 24th. So if you need to make any adjustments, this is where you'll see it show up. And so once that does happen, you do need to wait until it says 0. After, once again, we make the final ACH, it should read 0. Where you can see each of your deposits being actually applied happens right here. You cannot add any deposits, but I'm going to show you what I actually do. So when I'm on my page, I do an import of all of the ACHs that I have that I know have gone through successfully. And so I go to my deposits tab for the council level, and I can either add an individual deposit, like if you came in and gave me money at the front desk, I could add an individual one, or what I do is I actually import them. What you're going to see me do right now is just do a deposit for my troop 999. So we are going to put troop 999, and I'm going to put in the date that it'll happen. So once again, it'll happen on March 24th, which is a Friday. So this is final ACH is what you'll see it come through as. I'm going to verify it because I know that it actually happened. And right now, I'm just going to pull out $8,000 just so that you can see what it looks like on that tab. So then when I go back in as my troop, so I jump back in, I go to my deposits, I should hopefully see the troop 999 made an $8,000 deposit. which brings down what is owed to $581.60. So technically maybe that wasn't my final ACH, that was the second ACH, and so now I just have a remaining balance of $581.60. Whatever that looks like. Now, there is the rare case that we actually owe you money. So there are a couple of troops out there already that we owe a couple $100s to because they had so many DOC deposits, so we actually overdrew on them. It is possible that you gave away cookies after you made your big pull, and then now you've given away cookies and you no longer owe as much, and we've already made that enough pulls that either we owe you money or you don't owe anything. So in that case, we will ACH that money directly and credit your troop as well. So if you have a negative number here, that means that the council actually owes you that money. It means we've overdrawn on what you owe. But that is how to look at what your final ACH will be and how to make sure you're closing out so that your sales report looks right. How to kind of check those numbers for the per girl average selling, where your tiered rate kind of comes into play. So here's the standard rate, your tiered rate, what the tiered rate number actually came to, and then what your full proceeds were, what you owe to council, how many deposits you've made, and now what you have remaining, which would be the final ACH that we would pull. Once again, if you have any questions or you need help with that kind of the closeout process, don't be afraid to give us a call at the council. Thanks.